Hey everyone, I know you just heard from my crazy ramblings last night, but I had this thought and I've had it and I keep thinking I need to share it and I just keep forgetting. And so now that I remembered, I'm going to do it right now. So I posted, I think last week, that I had just finished The Happiness Advantage. And I actually didn't read it technically. I listened to it on audiobook, but I'm still counting it. I don't care what you say. Um, anyway, so I finished listening to it and I already want to listen to it again. It was just really good. And the funny thing is that it's about positive psychology. And the thing is I already feel like I'm a positive person, but to me there was a lot of really interesting information. They talked about a lot of different studies that they've done and the results of that and why it affects you and anyways, and so he talks about 7 different things. And one of the things that, and I don't know if it's one of the main ones or if it was just like a subcategory or whatnot, but one of the things that he talks about is willpower and how most people, I don't know if you have heard this, but I've heard this a million times, that willpower is a muscle and the more you use it, the more you strengthen it. And I'm going to tell you right now that that's bull crap. And I totally believed it. So if you're one who believed it too, I'm right there with you. I totally believed that that was true. It is not the case. With willpower, it is not a muscle. It is, actually, I don't know. I don't have a word for it. But what it is basically the more that you use it, the less that you have. So it's like you only have, this much willpower, and the more that you use it, then the less that you have, if that makes sense. And I'm going to give you an example. So our brains, and this was part of the book, what he talked about, our brains, they run on habits, because if we had to think about every little decision in our everyday lives, our brains would literally be on overload. We couldn't function if we had to think about every little thing. So there's just some things that our brains have recognized as our habits, and it just does those things without even thinking about it. And so this can be for good, and this can also be for bad. And so when talking about willpower, I'll use the example that he used, which is the example of working out. Hi, Angie. So he used the example of working out. If you want to set a habit to work out, you have to take away as many decisions as possible to make it as easy as possible. So for example, okay, so it's Sunday night, and you want to go work out Monday morning. So some of the decisions that you have to make is what time you're going to get up, what you're going to do for your workout. If you're going to go to the gym, are you going to stay home? Are you going to do strength? Are you going to do cardio? How long are you going to do it? Are you, what are you going to wear even? What are you going to eat before? There's just a bunch of little tiny decisions that you have to make. Even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, you're like, oh, I'm just going to go work out. No, there's a lot of decisions that lead up to that. And so every decision that you have to make saps your willpower. So when you wake up in the morning and you're tired and you don't know what you're going to wear, you don't know what you're going to do, it's so much easier just to push the snooze button and go back to sleep, because you can't figure out everything. And in the morning when you're tired, it's really hard to figure that out. And so that's why it's important to take away as much of the decision making as possible and plan it all out beforehand. So like Sunday night, you would sit down, and if you can, literally sleep in your gym clothes, so that all you have to do is wake up and go. Put on your shoes and go. You don't have to do anything. But if you can't do that, I always lay mine out. Lay out your clothes, literally have it written down exactly what it is you're going to do. You're going to do cardio for 20 minutes and strength for 20 minutes. And even within that, what you're going to do. So don't just say cardio for 20 minutes. Are you going to do the treadmill? Are you going to do the elliptical? Are you going to do a program that you have at home? Which one are you going to do? Same thing with strength. If you're going to the gym, put the reps that you want to do, the weight that you want to do, plan the entire thing out as much as possible. Set out I will sometimes even set out things like my toothbrush, my snack, whatever, just anything that makes it easier for you to get up and just make the decision to do it. Because every little decision you make, like I said, it saps your willpower. So the same comes with eating, for example. So you start day one and you're like, yes, I'm doing this new program. I'm going to eat healthy and da 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 da. Well, if you haven't planned, then and you're having to decide what am I going to eat for lunch, and then you get really hungry, then all of a sudden it's easier just to grab something that's not as healthy, right? So that's why it's important to have a plan. And so if you sit down on Sunday or whenever is going to work for you, and you plan out your meals and you go to the grocery store and you have it ready. Like I'm talking even, you're going to have an apple and peanut butter in the afternoon, like have it sitting out or something, like have it sitting there. So then oh, I'm hungry. Oh, my snack's right there. Boom. Takes away that decision, and it makes it so that you can keep your willpower for the things that matter. And so, and this is for any aspect of your life, any new habit that you're trying to form. One of the things that he talked about was the guy's name is Sean, I want to say it's like Aker, something like that. And he talked about how he wanted to practice the guitar, and how, yes, exactly. Yes, Angie. She says the daily last minute decision process and I are frenemies. Yeah. It is. The more that you can plan ahead, like the better set that you'll be. So with the guitar, he wanted to play it, but what he found out was that he'd kept his guitar in the closet, and every day it was like it only took him would take him 20 seconds to pull it out of the closet, but just that 20 seconds made the difference from him doing it to not doing it. So he bought like a $2 stand and put his guitar like where he would see it, and it was out every day, and it made it that much easier just to grab it and to do it. And the other thing he talked about was he watched too much TV, and so he took the batteries out of the remote, and he walked 20 seconds away from where the TV was and put the batteries there. And then, then he had like a book next to the couch, so when he would come home from work and sit down and want to turn on the TV, well, he couldn't turn it on because the batteries weren't in the remote, right? And sure, you can get up and go, turn on the TV, but then you'd also have to manually do the channels and all that. And so he had a book sitting there, and so he would pick up the book and he would read, and that's how he saved himself from watching too much TV. So really, for any aspect of your life that you're trying to form good habits and get rid of old ones, you want to make it as easy as possible, and you want to take the decision making out of it, because that will make it so much easier for you to form that habit. And the thing is the bad habits are still going to be there, so you have to continually be doing the good ones in order to push out the old habits, and then pretty soon it'll just be like second nature. Hey Kylie. Just wrapping up, we're talking about willpower and the 20-second rule. That's what he calls it, the 20-second rule. So if it's going to take you 20 seconds, normally you're not going to do it, which is why it's important to plan ahead, prepare ahead in anything possible. I'm talking about like reading your scriptures. If you want to do that, you literally need to know what you're going to read and how long you're going to do it for. And you need to have it like open next to your bed or wherever it is you're going to read it. Like taking out just those little things where you have to pull it out and open it up. Like it seems so small, like it's not a big deal, but it makes a big difference when you're deciding to do it. Because just those little tiny decisions take away that willpower, and then next thing you know, you've gone 5 days and you haven't read them, or whatever it is. So it can be applied to really anything. Yeah, anyways, I hope that helps, because it really helped me. One of the things I'm working on is my phone. I have the hardest time, like I'm on my phone like all the time, I feel like. And then I'm like, why can't I get anything done? I'm like, hello, it's because I'm on my phone all the time. And so one of the things that I hate that I do is I check it before bed and I check it when I wake up. And I hate that I do that. But it's right there next to my bed, and so that's what I do. So what I'm starting to try to do is I'm actually putting my phone in the other room. I have a Fitbit, and I use that to wake me up, so I don't need my phone for my alarm. And there's no reason I really need to check it in the morning. And so I want to start putting my phone in the other room so that when I wake up, I get right to my morning routine and what I want to do without the distraction of my cell phone. So something as simple as that is just putting something in a different room than where you're at. Like, it makes a big difference. Anyways, so I hope that was helpful. It helped me. So I hope you guys have a good Monday. I'm doing better. My headache is gone, so I'm feeling a little bit more like myself, and I'm feeling a lot better. So thanks for you guys for sending me messages and commenting and saying, "Oh, I love your stuff and you're always so happy." I'm like, "I know. It was just an off day yesterday and today, but I'm doing better." So, thanks for checking in, and I'll talk to you guys later.